Oh, hi everyone. What's going on? It's me, GirlonDuty, and I just woke up from a nap, so I'm kind of still a little confused, and I might sound a little different, but that all doesn't matter. I had a nice little dream. I'm not gonna tell you about the dream. Well, the dream basically was me being in America, and it was nice. It kind of brought back memories, so I thought, I don't know, I could do this commentary and tell you guys a little more of what I, did when I was in America for 2 years. A lot of people don't even know that. So, yeah, in this commentary, I will tell you guys what I have been up to when I was in America for 2 years. It was a great time. Overall, it was a great time. Sometimes I was like, what am I doing here? I want to be home in Germany. But, overall, looking back, I would do it again. If I had the chance, I would do it again. But, yeah, it was a great time. And gonna tell you about it. But first, I think in the background, I'm gonna have, two nukes. I've done this before, video with two nukes, and I answered questions about myself. So I thought this time, I would give you guys something personal as well again, and tell you guys about my trip to America, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. I don't really have too much to say about the gameplay. I'm using the chopper gunner, I think. Usually when I go for nukes, I use the Harrier and the Pavlo and the nuke, but this time, for some reason, I felt like using the chopper gunner, so yeah. I think the first one is on Favela, with the MP5K, and the second one is on Wasteland. I think Wasteland is the easiest map to get a nuke on, but yeah, that's all about the gameplay for now. So, first I want to mention that it wasn't really easy for me to convince my parents to let me go, but thinking back and putting myself in their shoes, I don't really know if I would have let my daughter go to another country for a whole year, with no friends there, just no one that she knows, It's pretty crazy. And I'm so thankful to my parents to, letting me go back then. I know I was 19, but I don't think I would have done it without their approval. I don't really think so. So I'm really thankful for them, trusting me enough to let me go to a different country to stay for a whole year. I didn't know anyone in America, but I was just so determined to go. And I'm really happy that I did it as well. So I went to America as an au pair, and I'm not really sure if you guys know what that is, but basically, it's like a nanny. Well, I went with an agency anyway, and the agency was the most important thing anyway, because they pretty much do everything for you, and they're really trustworthy. You can talk to girls that have done this before, and I did, so talk to a lot of them, and everyone was just saying positive things about the agency. So I chose them, and I went to America as an au pair, which means, which is like a nanny. You stay with a family, you watch the kids while the parents are at work, and when they're at home, you can basically do whatever you want, and do whatever you want in a way that you have your own car, which you can drive wherever you want. You have your own room. You have just your own little area, which is just for you. And I even had my own kitchen, okay? So I had a lot of freedom, a ton of freedom there, and I loved it. But yeah, becoming an au pair is not really okay, I'm gonna become an au pair and I'm gonna go to America. It doesn't really work that way. You need to prove that you're good with kids, and I did that. I did an internship at a kindergarten. I watched a ton of kids. And the agency calls up everywhere and makes sure that, I actually do have experience with children. And yeah, I did all of that. And I found a family. I remember the first time the family called me from America. It was amazing. I got to talk to the kids, it was amazing, and it was just it was right. I was right for them, they were right for me, and Yeah, I remember sitting on the plane going to America. I flew to Washington, D.C. first. And I remember when we were really close to landing, I remember looking outside the window and I remember being so excited because I don't know if you've ever seen like those American suburbs from a plane, but they look amazing. Like just look at American suburbs from a bird's eye view. Like that's the first American thing I saw. Well, American thing recognizable for me anyway. And I remember being so excited. Like I remember thinking, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. This is gonna be great. And yeah, I remember landing in DC. I don't know. it was it was so confusing, so big, and I don't know. But yeah, from DC I flew to New York, where I stayed for 3 days with a ton of girls from the agency. I got to meet a ton of girls from all over the world, like you name it. There were girls from Brazil, there were girls from China, there were girls from South Africa, everywhere that were doing the same thing as me, which gave me comfort because I knew that I'm not the only one jumping into this big adventure, and yeah, it was really comforting. And I made a lot of friends there. Some of them I still talk to. So then from New York, after those 3 days, which were like mandatory from the agency, but it was amazing. I got to see Times Square. I got to see a lot of things from New York. It was amazing. I love New York. I definitely want to go back there. And yeah, after those 3 days, I flew to Michigan, where my first family lived. And I remember being at the airport, and there was a huge sign with my name that the kids made for me. Yeah, I remember hugging the kids and the parents, and it was really great. Yeah, at that moment, I kind of knew that that family was right for me. They were so nice. They were amazing. I remember driving to the house. It was so great. I can, like, thinking back, the memories are like so fresh, although it's been 3 years. No, 2 years. Something. 2 or 3 years ago this all happened. So yeah, I must say, my first family, I couldn't have chosen any better family that would have fit me better in any way. It was perfect. My first year was just perfect. I mean, it was perfect, but you know, some things happened that I personally never experienced before, and they were just crazy. Sometimes I really felt like I was in a Hollywood movie. Honestly, I had so many crazy things happen to me. It was crazy, and I would have to do a whole another commentary about those crazy things that happened to me. So, and with those crazy stuff, I mean stuff like divorce, cheating, separating, like near death stuff. It was, like at some points I was like, is this real? Is this real life? You know, I really felt like I was in Hollywood movies. So let me know if you would like to hear about those. I will do like a whole different commentary about that stuff as well. So then, since my first year was that great, and I really didn't feel like going back to Germany yet, and I decided to stay another year. And that year, thinking back, I probably should have chosen a different family. But the thing is, like, if you're not comfortable with a family, you can always, you know, let the agency know, and then you get to select a different family because it's just not working out. But I mean, with my second family, it was working out in a way, but like I made it work out because I didn't really want to switch. Yeah, I probably should have though, but it was okay, but it was not as great as my first year. In my second year, I was in Virginia, way outside, like in the middle of nowhere, and I was not used to that kind of stuff. I mean, Michigan, some of you might think it's not the greatest state or the most interesting state ever, but there was stuff to do, okay? I live near Detroit, which, again, some of you might think, whoa, that's a city I would not like to live close to, but I mean, for me, it was adventurous. It was great, and I had a lot of au pair friends around me that did the same thing as me, and some of them German. Had some Turkish girls around as well. It was great. It was amazing. My first year was just amazing. The location, just everything. But then my second year, I was living in the middle of nowhere, I felt like. I mean, yeah, there was a Walmart in 10 minutes distance, but I mean, how often can you go to a Walmart and have fun? Yeah, my second year in Virginia was also the reason I got back into gaming, because in the weekdays, I just couldn't do anything. On the weekends, I could drive to Washington, D.C. and, meet girls there and have fun, but weekdays were really boring for me. So one day I just went to Target, bought a PlayStation 3, and life was okay again. I could go out on the weekends, and if I couldn't go out on the weekdays, I would just, game. I always wanted the PlayStation 3, even when I was in Germany, but I just didn't have the money for it. But then I did, so yeah, it all kind of worked out well in the end. Yeah, this is kind of all I can fit into a 10-minute commentary. You guys will have to let me know if you guys want to know more about it, because like I said, I have some pretty crazy stories that I like telling my friends and such, because they're always really amused by it. But overall, I'm really happy that I went to America, because, like I said, growing up, America kind of always fascinated me. Not saying that I'm not fascinated by other countries. I really, I think I mentioned this before, I really, really want to go to Australia as well, but I didn't have the opportunity then, which I will have in the future, hopefully. I still want to go to England, because I haven't been to England yet, but yeah, those are some countries on my list that I want to go to. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything I talked about in this commentary, just, write a comment and I'll try my best to answer it. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Let me know, like I said, if you want to hear more about the stuff that I mentioned. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I'm out of here. Bye!